the life of an athlete means giving a flawless performance in front of millions of people on a regular basis. Their screw-ups aren't the same as our screw-ups because theirs will be immortalized on the internet for the rest of eternity. In this video, we're discovering some of the most embarrassing moments of athletes, so you can feel better about that one time you slipped and fell in front of the whole cafeteria. First up, the FART-INDUCED vomit bomb. During a heated grappling championships in Las Vegas, one of the guys abruptly stopped and puked all over the floor. As if that wasn't disgusting enough to witness, the reason for him upending his guts wasn't because he was tired or dehydrated. It's because his opponent, wait for it, farted in on his face and won the match. We can't think of anything grosser. Vomiting in public is embarrassing enough on its own, but dropping your guts in the middle of a wrestling match will probably make you rethink the sport entirely. While we don't know if this grappler is still in the sport or not, we don't think he can live down the fact that his opponent literally farted in his mouth. We'd be traumatized for life. Next, New York Jets and the butt fumble. Speaking of farts, the butt fumble is widely remembered as one of the absolute worst plays in the history of the NFL. In 2012, on Thanksgiving Day, the New York Jets had fallen behind 14-0 to their rival, the New England Patriots. While something desperately had to be done, no one saw what was coming next. Mark Sanchez of the Jets somehow ran into the derriere of his own team's offensive lineman, Brandon Moore, causing the ball to be let loose from his hands. To make it even worse, Steve Gregory grabbed the free ball, leading the Patriots to a 21-0 lead, and the term #buttfumble began to trend on Twitter. Oh, poor Sanchez. In more ways than one, this was the beginning of the end for the New York Jets, for whom, even a decade later, the national embarrassment hasn't died down, while the Patriot fans have a good laugh each year. And next, MMA fighter's mommy incident. If you thought your mommy was overprotective when growing up, wait till you hear about MMA cage fighter Joe Fisher's mom, who didn't care that her son is grown up taking part in one of the most vicious sports today. After the fight was over, Mrs. Fisher managed to get in the cage ring to check up on her son, who had gone to sleep in a rear naked chokehold by his opponent. Mrs. Fisher scaled the entire cage, which stands at almost 9 feet from the ground, and we guess her protective mama bear instincts just kicked right in. She eventually had to be escorted out of the cage by police, while the medics tended to her baby boy. You can make all the jokes you want, but if your little boy is knocked out, no 9-foot fence is gonna stop his mommy. And now, goalie gives up game winner. Picture an intense game of hockey going on, and it's between two rival teams. The score is tied 1-1, and the atmosphere is electric with everyone on tenterhooks until finally, a defenseman fires the puck 200 feet into an empty net to win the game. Sounds like fiction, right? Well, that definitely happened during a game between Denver University and Utah State, where the latter team's trusty goalkeeper Keegan McHenry had wandered off to go chit-chatting with fans, leaving his goalpost unattended. Real smooth, McHenry. That gave Denver University's Robert Biedron the perfect opportunity to fire into the distance with an overtime goal win. McHenry returned to the crease just in time in a last-resort desperation dive as the puck zoomed right past him into the empty net. An open goal from that long of a distance? Yikes, that's gotta hurt. Now, the butchered national anthem. While national anthems have long been butchered during most sporting events, French-Canadian singer ALEXIS Norman's version of the Star-Spangled Banner at the Memorial Cup game is a classic butchery of the anthem. Norman started the anthem A-OK, but shortly lost her way as she stumbled over the words and eventually fell apart, literally leaving long silences in between before picking up the anthem again. We're cringing just thinking about it. She even hummed most of the large portions of the anthem, as if we wouldn't notice? Fortunately for her, the crowd did know the lyrics and sort of helped her along to finish. While it's okay for most people to hum the tune during a sporting event, ALEXIS Norman seems to have forgotten for a while that she literally had a microphone in her face with half the world watching her make a complete mess of their national anthem. Up next, embarrassing dad breaks the championship trophy. In other news of embarrassing parents, in 2012, an Alabama football player's father stumbled on a rug and accidentally knocked a crystal trophy off of its display in the Mal Moore athletic facility. $30,000 worth of crystals just shattered in a matter of mere seconds. That was one major fumble, Dad. The team eventually had to pay to replace the trophy again, but the damage had already been done. Emotional and physical. We bet the football player isn't gonna let his dad live that down anytime soon. If we were him, we'd milk this till the end of time and never lose an argument with Dad again. let's talk about the wrong winner. Chinese boxer LV Ben, during his bout with Kenyan boxer Peter Waru, went through what can be considered one's worst nightmare at the Rio Olympics in 2016. Ben was so confident he'd won the match. When the judge announced the decision, Ben began celebrating and jumping for joy. The only problem, he appeared to misunderstand and had actually lost the match, only to realize what was happening when his opponent began excitedly celebrating his true win. Poor Ben had a heartbreaking reaction plastered all over his face at the realization of what was really going on. Ouch. The secondhand embarrassment is very real. Next, the cell phone addict. We've all been at a point in our lives where we've dropped our phones in unfortunate places like under the car seat, the toilet bowl, or on our faces while scrolling half asleep at night. However, nothing compares to dropping your phone during a match as the world watches with intensity as you compete in the prestigious Olympic Games. The fencer from France, Enzo Lefort, must be really addicted to his social media or something, as made the inexplicable decision to take his phone with him into the arena during his match with Germany's Peter Jopic. During this match, Jopic lunges forward and puts Lefort slightly off balance, causing the device in question to fall out of his pocket and crash onto the floor. Lefort quickly picked it up and handed over the phone to his coach before continuing the fight. We hope he had a strong case for the phone. While we can't see their facial expressions through the fancy fencing mask, we'd bet Lefort felt and looked absolutely mortified. Now, the worst hurdle race ever. Imagine having to train for 4 years to jump over hurdles and look flawless while doing it, only to make it to the Olympics and jump straight through one. Sounds ominous, right? Unfortunately, this is exactly what happened to the athlete from Haiti, Jeffrey Julmis, in the 100-meter hurdles semifinal in Rio in 2016. Julmis started off the race with purposeful determination, got to the first hurdle, and never quite hit it off the ground. To put it mildly, he wasn't even close to jumping it. As soon as he got near the first hurdle, he kind of kicked it and flew headfirst, hitting the ground with a resounding thud. We hate to say it, but it looked like something straight out of a cartoon episode. If you take a second and forget all the hard work and energy he's put into the training for this very moment, it's actually quite sad, but hilarious. We hate to laugh, but it's just too ironic. And finally, Roger Federer's fashion slip-up. Embarrassing moments can happen to even the greatest players in history, and Roger Federer, being one of the greats, is no stranger to such incidents. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane, where it's 2007 and Federer has just beat his arch rival at the time, Rafael Nadal, during the Wimbledon Championships in a legendary 5-set final match. The fashion-forward tennis star decided to make a quick wardrobe change into a chic all-white suit for the presentation ceremony. However, moments later, as Federer walked onto the court to receive the coveted golden trophy, he tried to slip his hands into his pants pockets only to realize he had worn the pants backwards. Standing in front of a crowd with thunderous applause with his trousers on backward has to be one of the most memorable moments of Federer's career. That's a wrap for this video. Do you have any thoughts about athletes and their embarrassing moments? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one!